Beginning on the ground with Patterson. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And that's caught. It's Brian Edwards. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31. First and 10, it's Patterson. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. So a step in the wrong direction. Now they'll look to make amends on 2nd and 14. They'll look to throw here. And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up fourth down.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Just a 25-yard punt, not what he was hoping for by any stretch. And the Giants' drive will start from deep in their territory with a 1st and 10. Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And this one's incomplete.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Jones fakes the give to Barkley. That's caught by the tight end, Drew Sample. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. A gain there of 21 yards. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll run for the first time with Saquon Barkley. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down. Throwing, Jones. He'll get this complete to Kadarius Toney. And he will go out right near the 35-yard line. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Right back to Toney. He's got another one. And he is going to lose yardage here. Despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. 2nd down. It looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
It's hauled in by Shepard. And he'll be brought down at the 27.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation. would have meant that there was an incompletion and would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion, but I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing.
And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get turned it all loose.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Now Patterson to start the drive. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That'll allow him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely, frees up your guys elsewhere. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. 21 yards there on 3rd down.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the 1st down.
Now left side on the swing pass. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. So the drive takes them into Giants territory now. 1st and 10 at the 43. A first carry for Tyler Algier. And he is going to lose yardage here. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Second and 14.
Oh,
that's
man.
incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating the defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. Now back to throw. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
Well, there were a couple of extra defensive backs in the game, so he really had nowhere to go with the football despite his search for an open receiver. So he has to take off and run for it, but he comes up well short of the line to gain.
6-0 our score after 1. The Falcons send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he's able to get this across the 10 before being taken down. Trying to escape the shadow of their goalpost. That helped. 10 yards. First down. It's Barkley. Oh, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose.
Wow. That ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. Steps away to his left. Now he's going to let it go deep left side.
As a coaching staff, you can call just about whatever you want because you understand you have guys who reliably take away those massive shots downfield. You're not as worried about giving up the big one.
Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on third down. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Now that's a good bounce back after giving up a touchdown on the opening drive. Just one first down permitted and then out. Obviously no loss of confidence with that defense, and now they get to turn it back to their offense.
And here's Gillen on now to punt as he gets this one away. He'll take this inside the 40. Now a hit and a loose football. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
I feel like you and I could be in our backyard with our dads right now. What did they always say when they were throwing us the ball? Look it all the way in. Make sure you secure it. That had the feeling of not happening there on that play, that he didn't have full control of the ball.
When that punt's coming in, I would cover return punts, but I would imagine it's tough to monitor those guys coming full steam ahead at it.
It really is. You try and get that peek to know where they are, about whether you should fair catch it or not. But sometimes you just have to have a sense, a feeling, and just have to make sure, number one, though, you catch the ball and put it away.
And he's going to be taken down at about the 33. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Now Jones. Over the middle, that's hauled in by Tony. And they'll work this down inside the 30. The Giants now at 2-5 to start play. And they were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They got the home crowd behind them. I think they're going to be tough to beat in this one.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete.
He did a fine job there of not hitting it before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
First down, here's a run with Peterson. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. Operating from the gun, Jones. Bellinger hauls it in out left side. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a second defender. But the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
To throw on third down, Jones. And that is incomplete. Oh, he did everything but hold on to it. But a nice play defensively, and now it brings up 4th down. Gano's kick is good, and that will make this a 9-point lead. So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about 1-score lead, 2-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
Pulls it in at the 13. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Out of the gun now on third down. And that ball incomplete, nearly intercepted. Took a chance with that one. It'll lead to a fourth down. The Falcons send out their punter as he's on here to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. With it is Jackson. It's a 47-yard punt, but they did give up 10 on the return. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Throw left side complete. That's right. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Looking to throw. Jones trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Richie Graham. And the Falcons are going to take possession of the football. 1st and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. And the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Ready.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Ritter and the Falcons need an answer and a big play here on 3rd and long following the sack. Looking to throw. That ball nearly intercepted, but he could not hang on. Oh, pick there certainly would have been nice. Instead, at least, it'll be 4th down. Koo knocks this one through the post. And they are on the board. It's now 9-3. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach turned his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
And that'll carry over the... end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And he's going to step out of bounds all the way down at the 30-yard line. A big play there just before halftime. 45 yards. So the big play has him all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
And that is no good. And this will stay a one-score game as the lead will hold at 6.
One of the few things that hasn't gone right in this first half. They had a chance there for late points, but this one winds up off the mark.
They'll throw now on the final play. Dancing to his left. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. So the long field goal attempt winds up awry, and we have reached the intermission. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This is taken just shy of the 10. And he returns this to the 22. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. But Charles, for them, pretty good first half on the ground. They had some success running the ball in quarters 1 and 2, and they've got the lead now, a chance to expand upon that lead here with their first drive in the third quarter.
Yeah, believe it or not, you and I have noticed that this great game of football has shifted towards pass first, run second. So for me, it is really nice to see some of these teams keeping the ground game as a big component of their offense, and it's working pretty well for them now. And let's face it, they can continue to do damage with it. And in addition, it sets up the pass game really well for them too.
Now a deep ball here, hauled in just past the 50. And he'll have it past midfield, almost to the 40 before being taken down. A gain of 32 that time. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Jones with a handoff to Barkley. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run and the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done.
Meanwhile, Jones' throw pulled in by Hopkins. Down inside the 10. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. And boy, CD, it's one thing to watch a great run, but when it's a great run with broken contact, it's like a cherry on top. That was a nice play. And he is not going to get in there. He stopped short of the goal line, and the lead is going to stay right where it is. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. Well, the opposition laid down the challenge and opening drive touchdown here to start the second half. And, Charles, now you feel like this group needs to get an answer because this all of a sudden is a two-score game.
Yeah, you're right about that. What was a small, manageable spread to overcome? A little bit more daunting now. I think you're exactly right. Pressure is on because you don't want them getting the ball back with a chance to really extend this lead out.
Third down now. Those last two plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. Now before they run this fourth down play, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. The Falcons send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it.
And that's what friends are for.
Hey, as the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turn it over there, that's a big momentum changer and put your defense in a bad spot.
Forced out to his left. That's caught inside the 20. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Up the middle with Barkley. And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They'll go to Barkley again. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
On 3rd down, Barkley. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. 136 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season, as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Some good running there at the end of the drive. He had the burst that set up the 1st and goal, and then one play later, he's in the end zone.
Brandon, what I liked about that sequence is I'm not sure who made the play call, but they understood the situation, understood the momentum. A nice hard-charging run, give it right back to him, and let him cap things off.
Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Mariota now to throw on 1st down. Flush to his right. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down. Now it's the backup Mariota on the move to his left. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss. The sack backs him up, so now Mariota and Atlanta dealing with a 3rd and long. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Touchdown! Antonio Callaway, his first touchdown on the year. And the Falcons are able to cut into this deficit here in the final minute of the 3rd. Footing always a concern, but the extra points up and good. And they're able to cut this deficit down to 12.
We'll get 2 plays. Seth, I give you some 2 plays.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. Pulls it in at the 13. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a 1st and 10. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On 2nd and 12, Jones going deep for Hopkins. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Well, you most certainly don't want to go 3 and out here and give the football right back because your friend, Old Momentum, he's wondering if he should change sidelines about right now. And if you don't convert here, guess what? He's going to make the trek to the opposite side, and all of a sudden, you've got a battle on your hands.
Now Jones on 3rd down.
You keep throwing out a
Incomplete on the deep ball. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the 1st there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a 1st down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. Well, still a long way to go, but trending upward. They scored the last time out, you remember. Then their defense forced the punt. Now they try to inch closer, but still ultimately down 2 scores in the final quarter. 23 yards on the pickup there and a 1st.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up 2nd.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
That's into a crowd and intercepted. Julian Love picks it. And the Giants will have the football as this is taken up past the 30. Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. He'll drop it off with Saquon Barkley. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending it.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Give the sack to Lorenzo Carter. Chalk that up as their 1st sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week,
he's got a man complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A real letdown defensively. That was 3rd and a bundle, but they allow the conversion. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Jones is going to put it in the hands of Barkley on the option. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They'll run it again with Barkley. And he picks up about 6 as he gets this down to the 41.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Barkley, inside handoff. And a short gain down to about the 33. Credited with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
On 2nd and 9, Jones. This pass into the hands of Bellinger. Touchdown, Giants! Daniel Bellinger, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Giants are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead. And it's no good. It has not been his day. That's the 2nd extra point he's missed so far. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. Pulls it in at the 13 and makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. On 2nd down, Mariota again. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked by Julian Love.
So many times we end the game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. A handoff to Barkley. And down to the 36-yard line here. 156 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that,
yeah,
right?
He said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
And able to give one man the slip there as he works his way forward for about 3. On 2nd and 7, Mariota. Throw over the middle, going to be caught here by Pitts. Oh, wait, hold everything. A timeout has been called. Seemingly silly with 1 second remaining in this game. One last shot now for Mariota. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. He's got a man, complete. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slump.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time?
baby.
A little skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I
Count us out,
said,
yeah.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because you know open air boom, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for the Giants, a loss would have really hurt, but as it stands, it's an important win as they move to 3-5 on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Miami Dolphins. Meanwhile, for the Falcons, the struggles intensify as they drop to 2-6 now on the year. And they'll try to make amends next week as they host the New Orleans Saints.